Good morning, class 10th. Today I am going to explain the comparison between physical properties of metals and non-metals of Unit 3. These are simple properties. So, Table 3.2 clearly indicate the difference in the properties of metals and non-metals. First property is luster. As we know, metals possess luster and they can be polished, whereas non-metals do not possess luster and can't be polished, with some exceptions. For example, metals like sodium, potassiums cannot be polished and they do not possess luster because these metals are quite soft. These metals are very soft, so they can be easily cut with the help of a knife. Except these metals, all the other metals are hard, therefore they possess luster and can be easily polished. In case of non-metal, the exception is of iodine. Iodine is a non-metal which possesses luster. It is somewhat reddish brown in color, therefore other non-metals do not possess luster and can't be polished because the physical state of such non-metals is soft metals, solid form, or they may be in gaseous form. Clear? Second property is hardness. Metals are generally hard with exceptions of sodium and potassium. Non-metals are generally soft with exceptions of diamond and boron. Diamond is the hardest substance and is a non-metal because it is an allotrope of carbon. This diamond is formed from carbon, hence it is named as allotrope of carbon and is very hard or the hardest substance. Except these two species, other non-metals are generally soft. Third property is malleability and ductility. Malleability means the property under which metals can be converted into thin sheets, and ductility means metals can be drawn into thin wires. So all the metals possess this property. Non-metals are neither malleable nor ductile, so they are brittle in nature. Brittle means they can be broken into pieces when they fall down. Clear? But metals are hard, so they are hard solid. Next is conductivity. As we know, all the metals are good conductor of heat and electricity because metals possess electropositive character. They undergo loss of electrons, but non-metals are not good conductor with exceptions of graphite. As we know, graphite is an component of non-metal means carbon. It is again allotrope of carbon. Allotrope of carbons according to your syllabus are two. First is named as diamond, second is called as graphite. Other allotropes are also there. Third one is called as fullerenes. We will discuss about these allotropes in unit 4. Now, whereas other compounds such as carbon is a bad conductor of heat and electricity, but the graphite, which is an allotrope of again carbon, is a good conductor because of presence of free electron in it. Melting and boiling point of metals which are hard, they possess high melting and boiling point, and the metals which are soft, they possess low melting and boiling point. Except mercury and gallium, they possess low melting and boiling point. Next is non-metals. Non-metals except carbon and boron have low melting and boiling point. It means carbon allotrope and boron, which are hard, so they possess high melting and boiling point. Except these two, other all known metals possess low melting and boiling point. Metals are sonorous, means they produce sound when struck by any hard object. Non-metals are non-sonorous, they do not produce any kind of sound when they were struck. Density of metals is high because they possess large high mass, that's why density is high. Non-metals are soft, therefore mass of non-metals is low, therefore the density is also low. Tensile strength of metal is very high, they cannot be easily broken, therefore these metals and their alloys also used in the vehicles like cranes etc. to lift the heavy objects. Next is non-metals. Non-metals have low tensile strength because the nature of non-metals is brittle. They can be broken easily into pieces, hence the tensile strength is very low. Physical state of metals is generally solid with exceptions of mercury and gallium. Gallium acquires liquid state very fastly at room temperature. Next is non-metals. Except bromine, all the non-metals are either solid or gases. Only the bromine is a non-metal which will exist in the liquid state. Conduction of electricity by metal. Suppose we have taken different types of metal. It was observed that silver is the best conductor of electricity, whereas mercury is the poor conductor of electricity. Silver is the best conductor of electricity and mercury is the poor conductor of electricity. Why it is a poor conductor? Because it offers very high resistance. It offers very high resistance to the flow of electric current. Electric current के flow के लिए ये उसको resist करता है. That's why it will act as poor conductor, whereas mercury is the best conductor because it offers very low resistance to the flow of electric current. Beside this, as it is being costlier or costly, therefore copper and aluminium are also used as a conductor of electricity because being cheaper than silver and gold, they are used for making electrical wires. All the metal shows conductivity: copper, gold, silver, aluminium, etc. In the electrical wires, we use mainly copper and aluminium because they are cheaper as compared to silver and gold. Next is the plastic covering on the copper and aluminium wire is of PVC. This is called as insulation. This is called as insulation of wires, electrical wires, and that was done by PVC. What is PVC? It is a polymer named as polyvinyl chloride because it prevents us from electric shock if we accidentally by chance touch the electric wires. Clear? Now next point is the conduction of electricity. This point is quite important. The conduction of electricity by metals. The conduction of electricity by metals will decreases with increase in temperature. If we increase the temperature in case of metal, then conduction of electricity will decreases. Why? Because the metal consists of free electrons of the valence shell and remainder positively charged part. Metal consists of free electrons as well as the positively charged particles. So these spaces consist of these mobile electrons which are called as free electrons of the valence shell and the remainder positively charged particle. So this is called as kernel. It is named as kernel. With increase in temperature, what will happen? These positively charged particles are named as kernels and these negatively charged electrons. These electrons are mobile electrons. Mobile means these are movable. So when temperature increases or when we heat the metal, then what will happen? These kernels start vibrating, creating hindrance in the flow of electron. These start vibrating. When they vibrate, they create hindrance in the flow of electron. अब ये जो positively charged particles हैं ये move करना start करेंगे, ठीक है. When they vibrate, in that case they will create hindrance in the flow of electrons, means they will not allow the electrons to conduct the electricity because they will create hindrance. ये इनके जो इनका path है उस path को ये रोकते हैं. Clear? This is called as decrease in conduction with increase in temperature, and this is due to presence of the kernels. And what are kernels? Kernels are the positively charged particles and consist of mobile electrons. When temperature increases, these positively charged particles named as kernels start vibrating and they create hindrance in the flow of electrons. As a result, conductivity will decreases. One of the most important property of a metal named as tungsten. This tungsten metal is used in the making the filament of the electric bulbs or the lamps. This tungsten is a metal which possesses high melting point. Approximately the melting point of tungsten is 3380 degrees Celsius. So it possesses high melting point and also possesses high resistance. Therefore, this tungsten metal is used in making the filament of electric bulbs. These are the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Now in the next lecture we will discuss about the chemical properties of metals and non-metals.